index finger, and I would tell them to grab a four-seam fastball. So, whatever they do with the other two fingers or the other three fingers, as they're not looking at the balls or grabbing a four-seam fastball with these two middle fingers, then that's fine. And then that's kind of what it would be. And the key for me is you're simply throwing a fastball with a different grip. You're not throwing a changeup. You don't try to kill it. Don't try to make it move. You're just throwing a fastball with a different grip. And the basic thought is the more, hold that one for a minute, if I'm throwing a fastball, I don't hold it like this because it's not going to travel as fast. But when you're throwing a changeup, the more contact that you have with the baseball, the more hand that's on the ball, the less velocity there's going to be on the ball. And that's, you don't want to choke it up, I don't ever recommend that, but just get it off of this finger, these two fingers, and then from there, he might throw a great changeup like that for the rest of his life. As a matter of fact, that's Hellickson's changeup right there. You always talk about circle changeups. If I have my thumb under here, that's great. Well, all of a sudden my thumb moves to here, and now, is that a circle changeup? Well, I don't know. Is it? I don't know. There's a circle here. But the idea for me is, and this just ties hand in hand with that staying behind the ball and running out of arm, if I have these two fingers right behind the ball, these two on the side, and this one underneath, if my line's good, and now I turn and I go to home plate, this is going to be on line. If you're taking a circle change or something that you want to, get inside of, you're really raising the degree of difficulty here. This is very basic and very simple, and this works really, really good.
So it's like using all four fingers, and
it's like using all four fingers, but I would really, really stress, just listen, you're throwing a four-seam fastball with these two fingers right here. Whatever happens with these other, and that's why I don't like looking at the ball, because there's no correct grip necessarily. And I think, as you get it here, okay, that's comfortable. Okay, now throw a fastball. It's just a fastball. Different, it starts moving a little bit. But that's the idea right there. The more contact, the less revolutions necessarily, the less velocity.
I think I have to ask about sliders. My son, he's 12, he loves to play around with those sliders. And I think Roberto had talked to him one time about, just doing more of the wrists and not messing with the elbows. But at that age, he seems to be kind of wanting to play around with it a lot and stuff. And
well, just what you just did, just do that again. See how your palm right now, that's the key right there. You see your palm, how your palm is, when you throw a slider or you throw a cutter, the key is keep the palm down. Just how your palm is facing off to the side right now, that's incorrect. The palm is down. The palm goes down, not even like this. So you're throwing a fastball. Here's a fastball. It leaves your hand. Your palm is basically down. If you're throwing a slider, it's the same thing. I think about taking that middle finger and sticking that middle finger right into the ground, and then you can see kind of how my palm's down. If I start to round it off like this, it's improper. It's incorrect. You might get a kind of a sweepier sort of a break. And if you're a 12-year-old kid and you're sweeping, balls in there, it's probably going to be somewhat effective. But it's slider, that palm stays down. That's the key for all of them. I mean, we talk about this constantly. Palm down, middle finger. Yeah. If you want to throw a slider, it's just you can use a fastball grip. If you just think about that middle finger, wham, going down into the ground, that's where you'll get that little bit of action right there. And slider's a small pitch. It should be anyway.
How do you find these pitchers with a fastball getting a late movement on the fastball? I think I was watching some of those, and it seemed to be very late getting that kind of movement.
Well,
is that just natural to that pitcher?
Well, it's not necessarily natural, but that's what has to do with that running out of arm. If that ball's in your hand, as long as it can possibly be in your hand, and it just like leaves your hand with that action, that's where you get the boom, that late.
So it leaves your hand. Okay.
I want to eat. No, we're not. That wasn't part of the deal.